Senua!
Senua! What happened?
They're blaming me for the plague. They say that I'm cursed. What if they're right?
How would they know such a thing? Are they gods? None of us are. They're just people. Good people, but they're scared. They're afraid of what they can't see. Like children scared of the dark. They make up stories to fill the void. Doesn't make them true.
What if my father was right?
You have to step out of this darkness. Let them see who you really are, like I have. You're not a monster.
Step into the light, eh?
Without you, this darkness has made me a monster.
What if this is pointless?
It's not.
What if you're wrong?
We're not.
To do with the sword.
This
What
is
if we're wrong? The sword will never be yours. What if this is the end? It's just a trick.
It's not a trick.
It's just a pointless test. You've been fooled before. You could be fooled again.
Oh, and I realized I can't go back and listen to that story now because the place was on fire.
You never know which way it's going to.
I want to tell you a story about a god of the Northmen called Balder. The second son of Odin. He was beautiful, good and wise. He was fair of feature, he spoke fair words, he gave fair judgments. Light shone from him. Only good things were told of him. Yet he was the first of the gods to die.
First of the guys to die. What does that mean? So I'm guessing, like, I don't know Greek mythology. I'm just gonna make most of you guys mad. What the heck is that? But like, I never played God of War. Wasn't really my thing. Granted, I do want to play the new one. That wasn't my thing.
What is it? What does it see? Get closer. Be careful, it's not safe. Trust us. The mask is here to watch you fail again. Where are we? What is this? It's the same. It's another world. It's lighter. It's nicer. I like it here. Can we stay? Let's stay here. The bridge. It's not broken. It's fixed. What happened?
I didn't know there was a bridge. I didn't know it was broken. And oh, that.
It's fixed. Let's cross it.
Another story.
The Northmen tell this story about the death of Balder.
The first son.
It begins with dark dreams. Night after night, Balder dreams of his own death, and the gods fear for his life. So Balder's mother makes everything in the world: fire, water, iron, stone, earth, wood, beasts, birds, serpents, poison, sickness. Swear an oath not to harm her sons. One by one, they each make their vow. Neither weapons nor wood will injure him, Balder's mother boasts. Only Loki, father of Hela, the mistress of death, is not amused.
Loki, the father of Hela? I remember Guardian. No, what was it? Of the Avengers. Loki and Hela are brothers and sisters, half brother, half sisters, half siblings, and that'd be really weird. If it ended up being slightly different. Can I run around until I see like the flashing red lights all over the place and then start looking? I wonder if I'm not supposed to find this symbol in this world and I'm supposed to go back and forth to get across. The face from this angle is creepy. I don't have a sword.
Where will it take you? It's not safe.
I've died twice more without a sword.
Dillion, there he is.
There he is.
What are you waiting for?
Quick, find a way.
Find him.
Go through him before he disappears. Dillion, don't lose him.
Way too many times.
Always let him disappear.
Dillion, where is he?
Where's he gone?
We're in the wrong world.
He's not here.
She's in the wrong world.
He's not in this world.
He's in the other one. He's in the other one. He's in the dark world.
The dark.
The dark. The world once seemed so simple. Black and white. Darkness and light.
Is that
Narrow dividing lines of our own making. Dillion taught her to see further. To peek through the cracks and see the worlds of colour stretching away from the gloom. And Senna explored new paths into the unknown.
Dillion saved you from them.
You can't go up
You
there.
can't go up
Not
there.
in this world.
No, not in this world. You can't.
there? Come on, guys. Just have to find the right angle.
You've got it.
Remember, Dillion. Why isn't he here?
Do you remember?
Do you remember?
He's gone.
The sound He's in the dark world.
That is weird. Why is he in the dark world? Maybe he's in the dark world to lead us here permanently?
Out you. You have no choice. You're cursed.
What's stronger?
You have blood on your hands.
You are guilty.
Was it worth it? There he is. Where are you taking
He's
me?
up there. He's up there.
How do you get up there?
There's a way. There is a way up there. Find the way. She can do it. You're nearly there. Just find the way.
Yeah! Get used to the ability, use the ability on a switch. Boom. Tell me a story.
The gods feast and rejoice, and amuse themselves by throwing spears and stones at Balder, striking at him with sword and axe. But he comes to no harm, whatever they do. The gods never cease to wonder at this great marvel. But Loki shapes himself into a woman and asks Balder's mother, "Is it really true that all things promise to keep him safe?" "I did not ask the mistletoe," Balder's mother confesses. "I thought it was too young." Oh dear.
I'm interested to see what comes out of that story. Luckily, just one thing. It's just this. Or not. There's three
Years
different
had
things.
passed since she left her father. She trained hard alongside her friend,
Doesn't know
Dillion.
who killed him, but we do.
She saw things no one else could. Patterns, shapes, movement. intuition that made her an exceptional warrior. Friendship turned to love. But the shadow of darkness never let her go, and she was caught between two worlds. That of Zinbel and her clothes, and Dillian, her future. Two realities, tearing at her soul.
So I have to look at this from the back for it to matter.
She thought that she knew best. She thought she had light within her when she has only dark. She is pure darkness.
Alright, girls, we're starting to become a little bit more on the bitchy side. Turn it down 2 levels. 1, 2. Zigzag, huh? Ooh.
He saw who she could be. He saw who she really was. He saw the warrior within.
It's backwards. How the hell? How the hell up? Do that. Where's the sun coming from? And it seems like a weird question to ask in this game.
Dillian
But...
saved you.
Oh, what's up?
Loki makes a dart out of mistletoe and goes to the gods as they throw things at Balder. The blind god, Huth, was there. Loki asks him why he wasn't taking part. Huth says, I cannot see where Balder stands, and even if I could see him, I have no weapon. Loki replies, here is a wand. I will tell you where he stands. And Huth throws the mistletoe at Balder. It pierces through him, and to everyone's horror, Balder is killed. And for this, Huth is slain.
Thought something touched my hand.
Everything gets broken in the end. You killed him with your love because he believed in you.
Did I tell you how much sometimes I hate you girls? Just sometimes I do. Like a lot. I'm missing something.
You had that loved you. You squashed it, strangled it, flattened it. The curse cannot be undone. You led you astray. You should have listened to your father when you were young. His love has tortured you.
Alright. The symbols have to be in the world of light, right?
Do you remember the way he looked?
I know where the Z is. The Z is over there, so I either have to make it to the other side, which doesn't even seem like a thing. I said where does the sun go, figuring that it would make like a shade when the sun comes through, but that happens to definitely not be the case. I figured that this thing over here would actually be the arrow, but for some reason it is not agreeing with me in the shape that it should be an arrow. I have to find the right angle for it. Maybe it's a trick too.
He was the only one that didn't mind the curse. He loved her so much.
Wait a minute. Alright, just have to find the right angle, right? So that's how everything else works.
All about wasting your time just delaying minute by minute by minute. What does she think she's doing? You're special. She thinks she...
We're special.
They mean nothing.
And I mean that in the sense that we're not nothing. We're something.
The gods are just playing. What if the gods are laughing at us?
Does it feel like messing with her?
It wouldn't be this.
Be the first time.
Reverse time.
Do you remember what it was to touch him?
Can you tell me something useful, girls? Just useful. I don't want to ask for too much. I just asked for you to help me. Make sure we get out of here. Why don't I ever think about that whenever it's time for me to think about it? Because the other level, I was stuck on that for at least 20 minutes. And I couldn't figure out how to get around that. Okay. Okay. Alright. No biggie. We can figure this out. We got this.
Dillian cared for her like no one else has.
Dillian's the only reason she's still alive.
He led you astray.
You should have listened to your father when you had the chance.
Fight yourself, fight him too.
Listen to him.
This love has tortured you, and it tortures Dillian.
Hey,
Wasting your
There
time.
he
I
is.
have no time for this. Speed. These rooms mean nothing. It's all part of their
What happens to saving trials to
Alright.
distract you?
Bloody
They've set
hell.
you up, and now they're going to watch you fall.
What if these trials mean nothing?
These trials will mean.
Laughing at you.
What if they take you no closer to Dillian?
Why didn't I unlock both of them? Why wasn't that a thing? Why did that not even occur to me?
They are just to tire you out, to make you weak before the battle. He's the reason she keeps.
Because I am human. And humans make mistakes. But it doesn't make us weak. We must learn from our mistakes. And do better next time. Right, Sin? And it doesn't matter
Remember,
His love is guiding.
if we're the first to cross the line. Or if we're the last.
He was the only one that didn't mind the curse.
What matters that no matter how many bad words we hear, the naysayers, even in our own heads, the important thing is that we find the answer at the end. And that's why we're here.
You kill the things you love with your curse.
you kill the things that are most precious to
You
you.
say a lot here, ladies.
Service.
You're not getting on with it. We got this. Right, Sin? See?
Does it feel warm? Do you feel safe?
Dillian loves you.
You're not the only one, Sin, who's fighting.
What if this is pointless?
What are you doing? Why did you think you could make this work?
Hey, story time. Some other voice that isn't Lucy.
The Northmen
Claire.
tell how the gods mourned Balder. His body was to be burnt on his ship, but they could not manage to push it into the sea, and sent for a giantess to do it. She comes riding a wolf and has vipers for her reins. She pushes Balder's ship into the sea with such force that the ground shakes and the rollers burst into flames. When Balder's wife sees his body carried onto the ship, her heart bursts with grief, and she dies. She's put next to her husband, and the pyre is lit, sending the dead to hell. But even so, the gods cannot accept his death.
Do you remember meeting him beneath the tree? You have no chance for love. Nobody will love you again. Ever again.
We'll get through this, Sid. Find you, Dillian. We'll find you, Dillian.
Dillian!
Once you're over, we can do this, alright?
Be quick.
Dillian never much cared for the underworld, and looked dimly upon the druids, like her father, Zinbel. I guess he took after his father, a chieftain who believed nothing he couldn't see,
Very careful.
and he happened to be blind. She felt safe in Dillian's arms, learned to see the world through his eyes. Slowly,
Come on.
the darkness that had bound her so tightly began to unravel. You're going to fall, Kev.
Hey,
No, she's
okay.
not. She's not going to fall.
Listen
She's
up.
strong. She's steady. She can do it.
can-
You can do it, Senor.
We can do it. That's clear. We can do it.
There he is.
So what's gonna happen is we're gonna run to him and the floor is gonna collapse. And I'm gonna.
Hips.
His arms are open and please don't fall.
It's your fault. He's disappeared.
Kind of a Richard relocation there, game.
Just calm down.
Senua, your father cannot understand your darkness. He cannot see through your eyes. No one can. My own father was born blind. Doesn't have the faintest idea of what the night looks like. The word dark to him means as little as the word light. So someone is afraid of the dark. Should we fix them by taking away their sight? Would you give up the beautiful world that you, and only you, can see just to be rid of your nightmares? Or is this the price you pay for the gift you have? A gift that makes you so special in my eyes. Just another part of the person I love.
I left for the wilds to protect you from my darkness. Because I love you. But it made it worse. I'm so sorry.
Killing you would be too easy. They're taking your memories to torture you. They're taking you from inside. You're
It sounds like you
disappearing
girls are doing a lot more damage than anything else
Every
is.
time you remember, it disappears. They're going to take everything. They're not yours anymore. They're going to take everything.
If
you
they take
have, the
everything
memories
for
and
Sin to have
ghosts.
Dylan,
They belong to the gods, not to you. They're eating you from the inside. They want
and
to
that's
kill
something
you.
else you do.
They want to crush you.